All right, y'all give it up for Angie, man. That's good teaching right there. I feel like after this, I can be done. I mean, that was good enough. All right, let's give it up for her one more time, man. Well, as you guys know, this week we are focusing in on the husband. And so I do pray that our time together is beneficial, it's edifying, it's already getting off to a good start. And so I got a group of husbands up here with me right now. How long have you been married?
17 years. This year be 18, June 28th.
June 28th. And where's your wife at?
My beautiful wife is right there holding the camera.
So deep. Jay, man, Jamal, man, what's up, brother? Y'all give it up for him coming through. How long you been married?
7 years.
7 years. All right. Cool. And Mike, how long you been married?
34 years.
All right. 34. Man, Mike, I'm coming up behind you, man. I got 13 years, man. I got 13 now.
You're not even 34 years old yet.
I'm not even 34. I wouldn't even thought of when you got married. Late 80s, baby. All right, so we're just going to dialogue, have a quick kind of front room conversation that we want to invite you guys into. So, Will, I'm going to start with you. What made you nervous about becoming a husband?
What made me nervous? Probably all the rumors that I've heard before I became a husband. Not having no idea on what that looks like. I didn't see that blueprint in my home. My father wasn't married to my mom, and we lost our father early in life. And I got one uncle I got a huge family, but I only had one uncle that was married, but he stayed in South Bend, so I didn't get a chance to see what that dynamic looked like. So I went into this not knowing nothing.
Yeah, man, those rumors, I think, plague the heart of men and kind of suppresses us into or brings us down into an area of fear because you hear a lot of rumors, and then a lot of times, especially when it comes to the role of a husband, there's no blueprint sometimes. A lot of us was raised in a home without a father, or our father did not communicate to us what a husband was. And so there's a lot of confusion even around that word husband. Jay, what made you nervous, man, about getting married, man?
So I'll say everything that Will said, but I'll also add my situation was a blended family. Okay. And so when I went into that situation, as a 30-year-old man now responsible for 5 people, for me, I had a feeling like I wanted everybody to like me. Mm-hmm. I never wanted to hear that "you're not my father" piece. Mm-hmm. And so I think because of that, I kind of went the opposite way and didn't provide enough discipline. I was trying to be the nice guy. And I think in a lot of ways I had to learn that, there's a way to do both. And I think I went to the extreme on the other side and didn't provide the type of discipline and kind of authority in my home like I should have.
That's what's up, man. And you can even hear in that, man, rejection for husbands are real. That's something that we struggle with as well. And I kind of hear that a little bit in your testimony, man. Mike, what about yourself? Made you nervous, man?
Can I look at these notes that my wife gave me?
Sure, absolutely.
You're learning. So, no, I had thought about this a lot and what made me nervous. And just when we got married, so we were kind of, like Keith said, we were bad. And we liked to party and we were not believers. And so we got pregnant and we decided to get married and quickly had a wedding within 3 months or less. But what made me nervous was probably telling my parents that we were pregnant and we were getting married. So I was most nervous about that. Thinking back to that time, I think I was really clueless. I just thought this was going to be great. And so I don't remember being a lot of nervousness about that.
Yeah. Man, for me, it was A, being young, and B, wondering if I could be faithful. I knew that marriage was a commitment. It was a monogamous relationship. And for me, man, it was just like, man, can I stay pure in this thing? And so, man, thankful to God's grace, man, He has kept me. But at the beginning, man, I had real concerns, man, if I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. What makes it difficult to be a husband?
What makes it difficult?
We all say nothing at all, man.
Yeah,
good,
that's actually a real good question. I think what makes it difficult for me is trying to do this thing without God. I don't really see how no one does this, without God. You can't do it. People try every day. But we've been married a long time, like I said, 17 years. So in the beginning, for quite a few years, even though we were believers in God and a higher power, we didn't know what that walk looked like. So just trying to do it without even knowing what that road looks like and knowing what Christ did for us and how we are to love our wife as Christ, love the church. Not knowing any of that and trying to do things according to my will and not God's will. That's what makes it difficult when you try to do it on your own.
Man, yeah, going about it your own way and keep hitting that brick wall and frustrated with, man, why is this not working?
Right.
And sometimes it's because we're deviating from the plan of God.
Right.
Love it, man. Jay, difficult.
I think the difficult part for me was, and I've been learning this throughout my marriage, is that, and I heard this, sometimes it's not all your fault, but it's all your responsibility. And so as a man, sometimes you can point to certain things and say, well, this isn't going well, or my wife's doing this, or the kids are doing that, but at the end of the day, it all falls on me. And so being, accountable and being able to look in the mirror and say, okay, why is this off in my marriage? Why is this off in my family? And then ultimately going back to me and figuring out why things aren't in order. So that was one lesson, a hard lesson that I had to learn.
Mike?
Me. So it makes it difficult being a husband. And so I think my selfishness and putting myself first, which is something I think everyone's really prone to do. Over the years, I've learned and continue to learn how much I really am selfish and try to root that out and trying to root that out of myself. One example is listening. And Sue talks all the time. I don't know if anybody knows Sue, but she talks all the time. No, she doesn't. But so we agreed on that joke. She said I could say that. She told me to say that actually. So
You ran about the boss?
yeah.
I got a little joke in my soul.
So, but I tend to focus if I'm doing something and she wants to tell me something. And it can disappoint her or upset her, and so I really have to work on getting out of myself and getting more into her.
Nice. All right, so we got 3 questions, but for the sake of time, I'm going to shoot one to each of you guys for you to answer. Will, what do you enjoy most about marriage? Or being a husband, I should say.
Being a
Same.
husband. Yeah. I enjoy coming home to my wife.
Hey.
I enjoy knowing that she enjoys coming home to me.
Amen.
I know when she's at home and when she's happy, when she has that joy on her face, I know that she feels protected. And I know that she feels a sense of security,
Amen.
Provided for and all of that. So that brings me joy.
I'm going to give y'all permission to go home early, all right? Hey, Jay, what lies did you believe before marriage that you no longer believe?
I think that marriage it wasn't fun. And so I think a lot of times for men especially, we feel like leaving singlehood and going, like, fun's over, life's over. But I think you have to find that now in your spouse and your family and recreate ways to have fun. So I think that was one lie that I believe going into
Good
it.
stuff. That's good stuff. Mike, 34 years down there, man. What has your wife taught you in 34 years?
She's taught me a lot, and those of you that know me, I'm kind of an introvert. I grew up really introverted, shy, and I'm kind of content. I'm kind of content staying home. And so Sue is like out there, and so she's taught me how to have more fun. She's taught me how to do things. She's taught me how to serve. And those of you that know her, she's got a very serving heart, a very giving heart. She's always stretching me when it comes to like wanting to give things. And so like, how much money should we give to this? And she's like, here. And I'm like, well, I'm down here. And so she's taught me how to give, how to serve, how to have fun, and really appreciate her for that.
Amen. Can you guys give it up for these gentlemen up here?